What's up, cuz? You got a problem or something, nigga?
Got my eye on you. We're gonna fuck you up, rookie.
Cuz, I'm not turning down nothing, nigga.
Hey. That's enough. Knock it off. You're going back to your cage.
Okay, this is the Streetz podcast. This is the Streetz podcast, and I'm your host and executive producer, Brandon Green. Today's guest was born in 1972 in Alabama, where he was raised as well. He's a proud father of three. He came to Akron in 1989, where a life of misfortune came about, and a few prison bids came into play. He's an ex-gang member, and in his words, 7'4", and to the word blow, GD. He loves to read, meditate, read poetry, and his third eye is open, meaning he allows the spirit to guide him. We'd like to introduce to our listeners Mr. Marlon Taylor. Okay, here we go. We got to our guest. We did his introduction, so without any further ado, we have Mr. Marlon Taylor here. So, how you doing, my brother?
Hello.
Hello, Mr. Taylor.
Yeah. What's going on?
Okay, man. We've been on the line, man. We did your introduction, so our listeners, you know, when they hear, they know who you are. So we've been waiting on you. You here now. So, man, good to have you. How you doing today?
Man, I'm doing great, man. I'm blessed. I'm straight blessed, okay. Man. No complaints.
Okay, that's good, man. Well, let's get to it, man. First things first, man. We do on our podcast, we do an icebreaker, and it's a segment where it's called "Who Said It." We'll give you a phrase, and you have to guess who said it. Your options are politician, rapper, preacher, gangster, could be headline news, as well as TV or film. So your quote for the day is, here we go. It says, champagne wishes and caviar dreams. A team that's getting cream with sales of fish scale from triple beams, I gleam. Who said that?
I said a rapper said that, man. I said a rapper.
Okay, okay, you got that right. Who is the rapper?
Woo! Now that right there would be a whole task right there. Let me see.
Well, you old school, so come on, you gotta give us one good guess.
I'm gonna go and say, man. I'm gonna say Bun B, man.
Okay, you got that wrong, but it's Cool G Rap, Fast
Ooh! Life. Oh my goodness, you went way back on me.
Yeah, I had to go back on you, but let's get to it, man. So tell us about, you know, Marlon Terry, man. You know, where you from and how was your upbringing?
Okay, man. My name Marlon Taylor, man. Born and raised in Alabama, Silicon, Alabama, Harfordville, Alabama. I came to Akron, Ohio in 1989. Did a bit from 91 to 98. Came back in 2000. They extradited me back from Alabama. Been down 2000 ever since 2000, man. But you know what? Throughout this big journey, I can say, man, I learned a lot about myself, man. I faced my demons, you know what I mean? And I'm evolving, man. I'm growing on all levels. You know, I own my own business, Faith and Hope, Dispatch, and Freights. Me and my girl, I'm CEO of it. I also got a online notary. You know, we can notarize you in face-to-face, or you can be in Bangkok. You know, we federal notary as well, man. So, you know, God's been good, man. All I'm missing is my freedom, man.
Okay. Well, take us back. You know, you mentioned, we said it in your bio. You just mentioned it. What made you come to Akron?
You know what? My mom came up to Ohio with a boyfriend, and shot up back in Ohio, and it's all love, man. I was digging that. You know, country style to the up north style. Hey, I was sitting in just right, man. I love it, Akron, man. Akron is a hustling ass city. Got some thoroughbreds in there, man. You know, always from pimps to gangsters. You know, just laid back, or you can get a good job. It don't matter. Yeah, Ohio, all right. Akron was fine for me, man. I fitted in. You know.
Okay, well, I mentioned, you know, you had some misfortunes, and you know, which landed you in prison.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, any you care to share?
Yeah, man. Well, I did from 91 to 98 for ag robbery. Got out. I ain't learned my ways yet. Went back to Akron. Was waiting to get my parole transferred to Alabama. In the mix, I'm robbing dope dealers and that girl. I'm in the room with a girl. Come in, my guys come in. It's a setup. She screamed, "You don't wake me, kidnap me." Hold up. Take me downtown. What's this about? We can go with what she said, or we can go with what we know you're going on in the streets. You know, I live by code, man. I'm from the dirt. I don't do no telling, so I'm not turning my guys in. We're going to have to face what she's talking about. They still let me go. Went down south. They came after me like 6 months later with indictment. Get back to Akron, Ohio. They got a whole Alabama outfit in there. The justice system, man, the justice system, man, you know, it's corrupt and blind. Matter of fact, if you ever get time, I got a nice little poem, man, you know what I mean, that'll reflect a lot more of how I was brought up and how I was born as well.
Okay, we definitely want to hear you. We want to get to that. We just want you to cover a few things. You know, here on our platform, man, you know, like I said, we talk to people from both sides.
Exactly.
You know, whether you was a mother, a brother, whether you was a victim, whether you was somebody that inflicted pain, and we know you was in the streets. And so with being in prison for such a long time, what can you tell us about that?
I can tell you this, man. Prison is pretty much what you make it. Prison can consume you and eat you up. Prison can make you feel less than a human being due to a lot of racism sometime in the penitentiary. But then also you can become a victim in the prison system. You know, this is really a dog eat world. So at the same time, I wouldn't care if you laid back trying to do the right thing, man, get your education. You know, we really in the trenches. You know, prison system now, you know, you got these guys smoking this thing called tune. And when I say it's worse than crack cocaine, you got fentanyl and you know, methamphetamine sprayed on paper with bug rage spray on there. So a lot of these guys in here, man, they refuse to face their demons, man. They refuse to, you know, come to grips with self. They're either fucked up, they feel like they're not loved, or they don't want to be loved, or they don't want to love themselves. You know, I would really say, man, prison is all about what you make it, man. You got to stand 10 toes down as if you was going into a war or a battle. You know, it ain't about if you lose, it's just about you stood your ground. So prison, man, it's pretty much what you make it, man. You know, win, lose, or draw, man. You really want something in life, I advise everybody, man, to go for it, man. This is not a game. I don't recommend this for nobody at all. You know, but if you know you're a hard-headed individual and you know that you know, have problems with listening and authority, then prison sometimes can be a place, man, for you to get your head together, man, and rehabilitate yourself, man. They got great programs. A lot of people just don't utilize it.
Man, and for our listeners, you just mentioned, you know, the stuff that these dudes are smoking, which, you know, they call it tune. And you said it's worse than the crack. So I wasn't a part of that epidemic, but of course from seeing videos and movies now, you see how that epidemic was. So being in here, you would say that's really worse than crack?
I'll say that's worse than crack cocaine. You got guys in the prison system that's running up in a cell 4 or 5 deep with a knife, you know, which would be a banger. You know, hey, they get on the phone and call your people and send this 1,000. It's 4 of y'all or 5 of y'all. The only thing you're getting up out of his people might be $100. How the hell are 4 or 5 people gonna smoke $100 worth of paper? But they make it happen, and then they go to the next victim, and then the next victim. When I say sick, you're throwing up all on yourself. You're breaking stuff. You're spazzing and crashing on another inmate. The police. It's worse than crack. You'll do anything. I done been in the cell calling their mama like, they got me kidnapped right now, Mom. Mama, send everything. Grandma. They don't got no love for their family, grandma, nothing, man. It's too worse than crack. True story, man. Worse than crack, man. But at the same time, on the other level, it's just like crack and worse than crack, because how can you sit back and be a $250,000 inmate in prison? I know guys that's a $500,000 inmate in prison off of the same product that I'm talking about, tune. This is how people are owning their business and paying for lawyers and getting up out of the judicial system right now, man. Tune. It's like the 80s. You can go from nothing to everything.
So for our listeners, you know, because we got a lot of young guys that probably smoke that stuff, what would you say to some of the people that may be listening that, you know, these dudes is calling, can I get $20, can I get this? What would you say to them?
I would say, man, give them nothing but tough love. Give them nothing. Do not aid and assist. Most parents know when their child is going through something and it's a substance abuse type situation. So I would say don't aid and assist that, man. Because you know what, man, aid and assisting an abuser, you know, you're not helping them. You're not helping them at all. You know, and these guys, man, this younger generation, man, and I'm not going to say all the younger generation, because there's a lot of old heads in here that's smoking it. But you know what? It's time to man up. Face your demons. Be true to yourself. Love yourself. Damn that. You don't need to smoke that, man. Escape. Read the Bible. Read the Quran. Say a prayer. Meditate. You know, don't quit trying to find an easy way out and escape route, man. You know, it is what it is, man. But I advise parents like, hell no, don't turn your back, but also turn the phone down. Don't go for it. It ain't worth it, man. Because they're never gonna stop. You know, you gotta think fentanyl is in this. So they're getting fentanyl habits now. You know, and then you got the one that don't got fentanyl in it. It's cut with isotone, which is the fingernail polish remover, but at the same time, it still got Raid bug spray in it. It still got methamphetamine in it, and anything else somebody choose to put in it. So you know, nah, man. I tell parents, man, if you think your child is in there, because ain't nobody spending that much money on commissary and nothing else at a rapid pace as Tune is. You got guys that run through $5,000 in 30 days. That ain't nothing. You know, it's only a 10, 15-minute high. Whether it's a nod or whether it's go to sleep, they back up. Need it again.
And that was good info for our listeners. Now, this call, we coming to a close, but however, we are not done, Mr. Taylor. So, you know, we still gonna speak until it, you know, say the minute, but just stay on the line. So, you know, when I call back, we can continue, because I got a few more topics to speak to you on.
Sure.
You have 1 minute remaining.
So with that said, we will close here. This is Them Streetz Podcast, Voices of the Underworld, and we will be back momentarily with Mr. Taylor.
Thank you for using GTL.
This is Them Streetz Podcast, Voices of the Underworld, and we're back with Mr. Taylor. And before the break, Mr. Taylor was telling us about the drug epidemic, and you know, he spoke briefly on the young guys. But what I want to ask you now, Mr. Taylor, is, you know, in your bio, you know, it says you're an ex-gang member. And as we both know, it's a lot of gang activity, you know, for some we'll call it gangland within these walls. So what do you speak to that?
You know what? Something fall to the world blow. TV from the head to the toe. You know what, man? It ain't the same no more. You know, and like I said, I don't blame the young generation, because, you know, it's a lot of old heads too, man. It's the blind leading the blind right now. You know what I mean? It's the gang now is called, you can be a blood, and then you can turn around a year from there and be a crip. Now you got guys flipping from gangs to gangs. I don't know nothing about that. I don't even know who implemented that into play. You know, you are what you are, man, till you die, man. It's about believing in this. The concept and the ideology is why you joined it in the first place. You know, if you're a guy in a gang, you say, well, they all gay or they all weak. No, you didn't join that for that. You know what I mean? You got to stand 10 toes down and stand on what you believe in. You know what I mean? This ain't a we thing. This is an I thing. You know what I mean? For your mental, you stand strong when nobody else stands strong. You know, you're supposed to lift your brother up. So this gang, world today, nah, man, I don't respect it. It's watered down. You know, in certain joints, it's certain joints, they got some some solid brothers in there that's going hard. But majority of the brothers, man, the gangs, they letting other gangs infiltrate their gang, come from another set that ain't set. You know what I mean? They playing politics in the gang world now. You know, they taking from the good book. You know, and in the folk world, you take nothing from this and you add nothing to this. Them death violations, man. So, you know, at the same time, this prison system now, man, with this gang in the state, I don't know about the feds. I'm speaking about the state. I give it 80%, man. It's watered down, man. Ain't no loyalty, man. Ain't no brotherhood. Ain't nothing solid about it, man. They ain't my brother's keepers. They're not.
Okay, well, the last question to that is, you know, I see a lot of these younger guys that come in and they join for whatever reasons they join. But what would you tell some of these dudes that maybe listen to this that haven't came to the joint yet that may come?
Don't join no gang. Do your own gang. Do your own man. You will have more problems joining a gang with the same gang you joined than you would with the ops. All they do is eat off each other. This is the world of the hyenas. Trust what I'm telling you. Now and then they might fall out with the opposition, but most of their beef gonna come from, and most of their violations and getting physical gonna come from their own gang members. Beating on them. You did this wrong, or you did that. Or looking for, you know, that's why I say they all feed off each other, man. They ain't going outside of their gang, you know what I mean, prospering. They look within their gang to prosper. They don't gossip outside of their gang about the ops. They gossip about each other. You know, like I say, and then they bring politics in it. Or you was at another joint messing around with homosexuals, or, you know, you put anything on a man's name now. You know what I mean? They might want his position. So if y'all come to the joint and come in, man, self and leave self, man. It's cool to meet a couple guys. That's all good and it's all love and respect. But you don't need no gang. You don't need no gang for nothing, man. Be your own gang. That ain't never more problems.
Okay, it's a young dude out there that needed to hear that now. You say you love to read and you meditate a lot now. So elaborate on that for our listeners.
Well, man, you know what? Going through so much pain and facing my demons that you hear me speak constantly about, you know, that comes from me looking within myself. That comes from me spending time with myself. That comes from me learning, you know, how I was born, which is, you know, my mom's sister, husband raped her, so I was born. So his DNA is in me. So at the same time, you know, reading books have helped me consume and you know, and master, you know, whatever may be in me that's evil or wrong. So, you know, I come to grips with, man, to believe in the universe, man, and I'm one with the spirit, with the universe. That's my compass. It guides me, you know. So I read a lot of books, man, and I believe in a lot of things, you know. So, you know, it is nothing like it, man. It helps me elevate and evolve to the man that I am today. I'm an open book to the world, man. I have no secrets, man. I have no shames, man. And if I do have some regrets, the only regret I have, I got 3 kids, man, that I wasn't in their life, man, to be that for them, to help them grow up and teach them, you know, my daughters to be women and, you know, to know what a real man's supposed to be, and to teach my son, man, you know, about family and what a man really supposed to be. I would say those are my regrets, man, in life, man. So that's what's going on.
Okay, is it anything that you would like to tell our listeners? And I mean, you spoke on your kids, which I was going to get to, but I'm glad you spoke on it first. But is anything as far as like how it's been over the course of the years and dealing with them? How do you deal with that?
You know, I didn't take this advice that someone gave me, but I try to work at it now because my kids are a lot older. But I would honestly say I wouldn't care if you wrote a letter. I wouldn't care if you wrote one sentence once a week. Reach out to your children, man. You know, build a relationship with them, because I can promise you this. They might not be doing the right thing because dad or mom's not there, but I promise you it's going to come a day when I guarantee you they'll remember, man, the little letters and phone calls and just the little Jews you drop on them, man, even from the penitentiary, man. You know, don't you think that they're going to feel some type of way about you? Do your best, man, and give. You know what I mean? If you don't assume that they don't love you because you weren't in their life. I would say, man, reach out for them in any possible way you can, man, because they need that, man. I truly do.
Okay, and you spoke to having a beautiful queen by your side. There's a lot of other women that's good women, great women that stand by men that's behind these walls. And what would you like to say, maybe to her if she listening, or to some of these other women that's out there?
Man, my fiance, man, her name is Angela Castleberry, you know. And when I say God is good, the universe is good, man, from head to toe, man. This is, I understand that we're not together in the physical, but what's so deeper and more emotional and more solidified is that communication that you have when you can spend time reading a book and y'all sharing ideas and thoughts about that book. Or are you just reminiscing on your past about, how you wish you would have been, but then focus more on where you want to be. Right now, man, any woman that's standing behind a strong man on lockdown, hey, man, I salute him. I salute them, man. All men in prison are bad. All men in prison, I play no games. All men, and you know what? And a man, and some men, a strong woman, that's their balance. And this vice versa. A strong woman is a man's balance. Learn to compromise. Be honest with each other, man. And hey, man, listen here, man. It's the most beautiful thing in the world, man. Don't love for nothing but love for love. Love is the most powerful element in the universe. You sit back and think about it. You done seen guys that love was so powerful, they did some dumb shit, whether they committed murder, rape, or whatever it was. But love is love. Love have to be respected because it's the most powerful element in the world. Love will have you feeling like you floating in heaven. Then one moment things ain't going right, love will make you feel like you're in the bottom of the pits of hell and you hate everything and I'm gonna kill him, I'm gonna kill her. Love, man, that's what love does, man. Love, man, learn to find that love, embrace that love, and love that love is about, just like life, about balance. You can have a drug problem, you can be a freaky individual, whatever it may be. Learn to control and keep balance in your life, man. That is the key to success. That is the key to a person elevating and evolving to the greater heights that one can even imagine.
Well, he couldn't have said it no better than that. Love is love, to sum it up. Now listen, we know you do the spoken word poetry, and you spoke on a heavy topic that, unfortunately, at this moment, we don't necessarily have the time. But for our listeners, we want to hear that poem. Now, Mr. Taylor, he spoke on a situation with his mom and who he later discovered to be his dad. So if you would care to share, we would love to hear your spoken word piece.
On the poem side?
Yes.
Okay, check this out, man. I ain't gonna do the beat, but my mom was raped by her sister's husband. So as I sat back and meditated as I do, it's just like you'll go, where were you, God? Where were you? Where were you when my mama's sister husband raped her that night? I was procreated that night. My mama's husband, he didn't look at me right. I'm dark skinned, my other two brothers are light. Some of my family, they didn't treat me right. I knew at that moment I'd be the black sheep for life. God said what's done in the dark should come to light. Forgive me, everybody. Let me turn this light on bright. You know what my real father never ever said? I'm your auntie husband, but I'm also your dad. You know what my real father never ever said? I love you, Marlon, and I'm your real dad. I can't breathe. Somebody get me a paper bag. I was told this family secret at 15 years old. I'm now 52 years old. Pain like this, it don't never grow old. My whole life, this has haunted my soul. I can't seem to figure things out. Born a Gemini, it's hard for me to balance things out. If I'm the devil child and let me grow my horn, why must I suffer? I didn't ask to be born. Me and my stepbrother, we talked and shared our pain. Our daddies didn't love us, so who should we blame? In this cold world, it's so quick to blame. If you was born from a rape, you could feel my pain. Why we being judged and mistreated? We aren't to blame. I cry in prison every single night. Been locked down for rape and robbery for more than half of my life. The justice system robbed me for my life. Who can I tell that I didn't commit these crimes? Because the justice system is corrupt and blind. Who can I tell that I didn't commit these crimes when the seed of bad thoughts has always been in my friends, family, hearts, and minds since the beginning of my birth time? I am great. I am blessed. I am Marlon Taylor, man.
Man, that was deep right there, man. We, myself as well as our listeners, man, we appreciate you sharing that with us.
No doubt, man. No doubt.
As we get ready to come to a close here, can you tell us? You spoke on it briefly, but can you tell us a little bit more about Faith and Hope, the freight dispatch?
Yeah, man. Faith and Hope, man. You know, I'm an owner, man. Me and my fiance, man. Faith and Hope Dispatch and Crate. You know, anybody that got their CDLs or anybody out there just want to drive box trucks, get in contact with us. If you need anything notarized from person to person or over a line, you know, I scam, we can do that too. You know, we got drivers in Texas, we got drivers in Mexico. You know, we doing a furniture movement drivers. Yeah, man, it don't matter what we do compliance. We keep you in audits. We do your audit for you. We start your business for you. Reach out to Faith and Hope, man, because that's exactly what it is. Faith and hope. You gotta have hope. You gotta have faith, and everything else will work out, man. We are a family company, man. We play no games. We got insurance on everything. The government serial numbers. We locked and loaded, man. You know, this is about everybody succeeding, man. You know, so don't be afraid to reach out, man. If you don't understand something that you want to get into the trucking business, call out to us, man. We'll help you, man. Free, at charge, man. You know, that's just what we're about, man. It's about family and love with me, man, and peace and love.
Okay. You know, also for our listeners, you gave some good information. Is it any like the ways that they contact you? You care to share that over so they know?
Okay, you can go to the website of Faith and Hope.
You
But at
have
the same
1
time,
minute remaining.
I'm on Facebook, Marlon Taylor Facebook. I'm on Slam, ED, and Bama. So you can go on my Facebook page. We got post up for Faith and Hope with the phone number. You can reach out. We got faxes. Any way you want to get in contact with us, we got the number there, man. And I wish I had it on hand. I knew that I'd have been able to read it right off to you.
Okay. Well, look, man, this was an honor, man. We appreciate you taking your time out for us.
I appreciate y'all, man.
And this is another episode of them Streetz podcast, which is the Underworld. And again, this is Mr. Marlon Taylor.
Listen, young brother, I can't get on the top bunk. He say, no, I'm an older guy, man. You know, you should take the top bunk because you're younger. You can get up and down easier. Right. So me thinking I'm this masculine, super macho man, I'm like, yo, I'm not getting on nobody's top bunk. So we talked back and forth for about 20 minutes. By the 21st minute, he convinced me to take the top bunk. That night, I stayed in the cell with him and we just talked all night. Like I'm talking about all night. I never really met a man that mature. The next morning, he was like, yo, come with me to breakfast. I walked with him to breakfast. Sitting in the mess hall in prison, I'm like, a lot of people keep looking at us, man, but I'm not noticing anything. I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, is he gay? After breakfast, he was like, yo, what are you about to do? I'm about to go back to the cell. He was like, nah, come with me to the yard. I go with him to the yard. As soon as we go to the yard, he clap his hands. He goes like this. About 30 Muslims lined up. And he said, I'm Mujahid. He said, if I would've got on that top bunk, I would've killed you this morning. Wow. You know, he was the imam, meaning the high priest of the whole prison. But his humility showed me my arrogance almost got me